Now, transgender Americans are facing uphill battles with their insurance companies, struggling to get coverage for hormone therapies and gender-affirming surgeries. NBC Out reports many insurance plans and 1 in 5 states have policies that exclude coverage for certain types of operations and therapies for transgender people. One New York attorney who struggled for years with her employer's insurance company put it this way: "It felt really invalidating and just like I wasn't being heard." Joining us now is NBC Out reporter Joe Yerkeba. Joe, always great to have you. So let's talk about the big picture here. How often do transgender people face roadblocks with their insurance companies and medical providers to get gender-affirming care? Tell us what's happening with these insurance companies and also how often it is covered.
Sure. You can take a look at this graphic we have here. A survey last year by the Center for American Progress found that 40% of transgender respondents and 56% of trans respondents of color said their health insurance companies denied coverage for gender-affirming care, which includes treatments like hormones and surgery. And we don't have data on how often this is covered, but in the majority of cases, certain surgeries like facial feminization surgery, which Alejandra wanted to get, isn't considered medically necessary.
So, Joe, let's go back to Alejandra, who you just mentioned, and the attorney I mentioned before. What have her employers and insurance companies said about her situation?
Sure, yeah. So Alejandra fought for 3 years to get her employer, the New York Legal Assistance Group, and her insurance company, United Healthcare, to cover her facial feminization surgery. And in a statement, you can see here that her former employer, NILAG, said, "We aim to create an environment that supports all NILAG employees during their employment, which includes making available the best options for insurance qualified by the state of New York." And then you can see another statement here from a spokesperson for United Healthcare, who said, "Our mission is to help people live healthier lives regardless of age, race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or gender identity."
And now, Joe, I know that there's also other types of surgeries, other types of treatments that are blocked that might not be something like the facial one that you described. You also talked to a trans man about his hysterectomy surgeries being denied. Can you tell us Alex's story?
Sure. So Alex Petrovnia is a trans man who's been trying to get a hysterectomy since February of this year. And twice, once in February and once in April, he said United Healthcare called him less than 24 hours ahead of his scheduled surgery time to say his claims had been denied. And the first time he said the company said it was because he hadn't submitted required paperwork, even though he said he faxed it to them 3 separate times months in advance. The second time, he said that United Healthcare told him that he was required to have been on hormone replacement therapy for 1 year prior to surgery, but he said the policy information he had at the time had said that the requirement was only 6 months. So he's rescheduled the surgery again for December, but he told me that he isn't hopeful if United is, quote, willing to just make up the rules and contradict their own rules. And United Healthcare has said that they can't comment on his case at this time.
All right. Joe Yerkeba, as always, thank you for your reporting.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.